In this video, we will understand the concept of section and midpoint formula. Now, it's a very easy topic when it comes to board exams because you just have to apply a few formula, you have to remember a few formula, apply them and get the answer. So, let's have the chapter. So, section and midpoint formula. So, when we talk about coordinate geometry, let us say we have these 2 points A and B, where A is x1, y1 and B is x2, y2. Now, for example, there is a point P in between them with the coordinates x and y, and it divides the line segment AB in the ratio m1 is to m2. Then, if we are supposed to find these coordinates x and y, so x will be equal to m1 x2 plus m2 x1 upon m1 plus m2. Similarly, when we are supposed to find the y coordinate, then y will be equal to m1 y2 plus m2 y1 upon m1 plus m2. So, a quick revision to this: if we have a line segment AB with the coordinates x1, y1 and x2, y2, and if there is a point P with the coordinates x and y which is dividing the line segment in the ratio m1 is to m2, then x, that is this P coordinate, x is equal to m1 x2 plus m2 x1 upon m1 plus m2. Similarly, in case of y, m1 y2 plus m2 y1 upon m1 plus m2. Now, in case P is the midpoint, so if P is the midpoint, of course, this ratio becomes 1:1. So, in that case, in case of midpoints, you don't need m1 and m2. You simply have 1:1 ratio. So, x will be equal to 1 into x2 and 1 into x1. So, we can say x1 plus x2 by 2, and y is equal to y1 plus y2 by 2. So these are very simple formula. You will be given a question. You will be supposed to you will be asked either the coordinates of P, or P and B will be given to you. Will be asked A. So depending on the question, you can just apply the formula and get the answer. Let's say a question to understand this concept better. Now this question is very important from exam point of view because it will cover almost all the topics for this chapter. So the question is, in what ratio the line joining the points 4, 2 and 3, minus 5 is divided by the x-axis, and also find the point of intersection. Now in this case, we are supposed to find the ratio as well as the point. So to understand the concept better or the question better, we'll try to draw the diagram based on the given information. So we have here A and B as 2 points. Let's say A is 4, 2 and B is 3, minus 5. It is divided by the point P. So let's say the point P. Now point P lies on the x-axis. Now if any point lies on x-axis, the y coordinate will be 0. So we assume this to be x, 0. We are not given the ratio, we are supposed to find the ratio. So we will be taking this as k is to 1. You can take m1 is to m2 also, but to make it more simpler, I have used k here. Now, because k is also unknown to us and x is also unknown to us, we will not use the x formula. We will go for the y formula. So y will be equal to m1 y2. So we'll just write the formula m1 y2 plus m2 y1 upon m1 plus m2. Now in this case, y is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to m1, which is k, into minus 5. So it will be minus 5k plus 1 into 2, that is 2, upon k plus 1. This k plus 1 goes on the other side and becomes 0. So 0 is equal to minus 5k plus 2. Let's take 2 on the other side or 5k on the other side. You can take either of them. So this implies 5k is equal to 2. So k is equal to 2 upon 5. So our ratio m1 is to m2 or k is to 1 will be equal to 2 is to 5. That is my ratio now. Now that we have got the ratio, we'll now find the value of this P, that is the coordinate of the intersection. So we'll just write the formula first. X is equal to m1 x2 plus m2 x1 upon m1 plus m2. So m1, that is 2 into 3, that is 6, 5 into 4, which is 20 upon 2 plus 5. So this is 26 upon 7. So the point of intersection of, so the coordinates of the intersection, that is P, is equal to 26 by 7 comma 0. So now there is a more formula in this chapter, which is the centroid of a triangle. Now centroid is a very easy topic. What is centroid first? So centroid is the meeting point of all the medians. For example, if we have a triangle ABC, then if I draw a median AD, so this D point will divide this BC in two equal parts. That's what the work of median is. Median divides the side in two equal parts. So similarly, we draw the medians of all these sides. So this point G is called the centroid because this median, all these medians meet at G. Now, remember this, that this point G will divide every median in the ratio 2 is to 1, where 2 parts is towards the vertex and 1 part is towards the side. Similarly, this is also 2 is to 1 and this is also 2 is to 1. So, very simple formula for centroid is centroid, if this is my, let's say, x comma y, then centroid G, that is x phi, is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3 comma y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. Now this is a very simple formula, very easy formula, can be easily asked for multiple choice questions. So do not ignore this point as well. You can just put the values, you will be given this x1 y1, x2 y2 and x3 y3. These will be your x1 y1, x2 y2 and x3 y3. You just have to put the values here, just divide them by 3, you will get the value of centroid. It's a very simple thing, do not ignore this. You can be easily asked this in your multiple choice questions. In the same way, you can solve more questions from your textbooks and the reference books. It's a very easy chapter. So even if you're not very fond of maths, please attempt the questions from this chapter.